These are the top 4 things that are keeping you poor. Number 1, your money habits. You're probably overspending in places that you don't even have money to begin with. More than likely, you're using your credit cards, or you're not budgeting effectively, or you're not looking at the money that's leaving your account, right? You see so many ads and so many commercials about what's actually going to help you to look at the subscriptions that you have and, your shopping spree and all that stuff. You can do that yourself. You do not need to invest in anything to actually help you do that. All you have to do is look at your bank statements, look at your credit card statements, and say, okay, this is how I'm spending my money. If you keep spending your money, you're not going to be able to achieve any of the goals that you set out for yourself, right? You have to start thinking about what it is that you want to do. For me, when I was looking at paying off my debt and working toward financial freedom, and I'm still working toward financial freedom, I had to get very, very real with myself and say, I'm overspending. I am trying to keep up with things and with people that do not serve me and definitely don't serve my finances, right? You have to be realistic with yourself and hold yourself accountable. Even if you have to put it on the mirror every single day, you're not going to spend this amount of money. Today, I commit to not spending money. Today, I commit to not eating outside. Today, I commit to not going out with friends. Whatever it is, know that it is going to require time and it is going to require sacrifice, right? Specifically, sacrifice from you doing things that you might actually really enjoy. But you have to ask yourself, are the things that you enjoy actually helping you progress financially? You could enjoy eating out, right? If you eat out every week, that is not helpful to your finances, but yet you still have a goal of trying to pay off the debt. How is that possible? Those two are contradictory. You cannot have a goal of wanting to pay down debt or saving up for a house or saving up for your kid's college fund or saving up for, a wedding that you have next year. You can't have that and then say, actually, I have that goal, but I'm still going to eat out every single week, or I'm still going to, spend $200 on Shein just because I want to. Those things do not agree with each other, and you have to be very, very realistic with yourself and say, am I willing to give this up? Am I willing to stop spending so much money in one area so that I can actually work toward the thing that I actually want? Maybe what you want is to start a business, right? You don't start a business by having no money. You have to have at least a little bit saved up, right? So that you can go to a bank, ask for money, and then be able to contribute that. Whatever your goal is, you have to make sure that you are not overspending, because what ends up happening is you're going to have that goal for the rest of your life. That is what's going to happen if we are being very realistic, right? So you want to make sure, again, that if you are having a goal, if you have your goal, if you are, looking to do anything and work toward your financial freedom and your financial goals, you have to stop overspending, okay? If your problem is that you do not make enough, then what's stopping you from getting a second job? What's stopping you from saving up, $100 or $30 every single month, right? If you weren't doing some of the things that you are doing, I'm pretty sure you can squeeze out $30, $100 every single month. I'm talking about a month, not, every day, right? A month. And that way you at least have some sort of emergency fund that you can say, okay, now I feel a little bit more stable, right? You're working toward your spending habits, you're being more disciplined about it, and ultimately you feel a little safer because you have a safety net that you were able to develop, right? That's an important step to have when you are on a financial journey, is simply developing some sort of emergency fund. $1,000 is, the very minimum that you may need. Obviously, a lot of emergencies are way more than $1,000, but $1,000 at the very least can cover a very small emergency that's happening, and it serves as the foundation for a bigger emergency fund, right? The goal sometimes is not the thing that you're doing, but it's the how of where you're getting. So your goal is for right now $1,000, but later on you'll see that it's the how you got there. It's the financial habits that you developed along the way to be able to save $1,000 that is now going to help you when you're looking at saving $5,000, $50,000, $100,000, whatever it is that your goal is, okay? Number 2, and you might not like this one, is the company that you keep. Your circle of friends, right, can either really, really help you in your financial journey, or they can really hurt you. It doesn't have to be your friends. It can be your spouse. It can be, family members, your kids, right? Whoever it is, you have to be very cognizant of who's around and how you feel around them, right? If you have friends that make you feel guilty for not going out to eat every single week, or not going to that brunch, or not going to, the parties that they have every single week or every single 2 weeks, then maybe those aren't the right friends for you. If you have true friends, your friends will understand 100% that you are on a financial journey and that you are on track and have to remain on track in order to meet your financial goals, okay? And they might even join you, right? So if you can vocalize that and your friends are supportive, then absolutely go ahead and do that. But I will say, even if it's with friends, right? If you're seeing that with other people, if you're seeing that you're, you find yourself going under pressure a lot, that is less about your friends and more about you. And that's my fourth point. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. The third habit that is keeping you poor is your emotions, okay? Money is psychological. Money is something that ebbs and flows. Money is something that comes and goes, right? So when it comes to money, we have to have the right mindset. That can be a double-edged sword, because just as much as you can have, the mindset that you're going to make $1 million and things are going to be great financially, on the flip side, you can have the mindset that you're never going to have enough money, right? In order to have the abundance mindset when it comes to money, you have to do this every single day. You have to practice this every single day, and not only practice and tell yourself that, but work toward that goal, right? Don't let that go. Be very fierce about what it is that you're holding on to. Have a plan, be decisive, right? And once you say you're going to do it, then go out there and get it done, okay? Don't let anything stand in your way, because the only one that's losing at the end of the day is you. And if you're working toward a goal for other people, for your kids, for your husband, for a life that you want with someone, then at the end of the day, it's about that life that you're not going to get if you choose not to actually act on those habits that will make you more financially successful. The other side about money being emotional is that you can use that and say, oh my God, this really nice car that I saw, I want to buy that. Or this really nice shirt that I saw, right? And so pretty much when you look back on it, you're trying to afford a lifestyle that you really cannot afford. And so you might end up once again in the cycle of spending on credit cards and doing things that you're really not supposed to with your money, okay? So what you need to do is figure out why you feel the need to spend at that time. You can set up certain systems for yourself to be able to combat those thoughts, right? Emotions are emotions, and you cannot prevent feeling emotional when it comes to anything about money or just in general, right? But the one thing you can do is develop a system that's going to help you overcome that emotion that you have about money. Maybe you grew up low income and now you feel like you could, buy yourself whatever it is that you want just because, right? And so when you're in a store or when you're somewhere else, you want to buy yourself those things, and you do, and you act on impulse. That's not something that you should be doing all the time or in general, right? You want to make sure that you have a system. What can you do instead? You can give yourself the 72-hour rule. You can spend 72 hours where you actually don't buy that thing for 72 hours. If it's absolutely necessary and you can't stop thinking about it, great, right? But also measure. Why can't you stop thinking about it? Because you have it in your mind and you have it open all day long, all night long on your phone, right? That Shein shirt that you saw, or those pair of sneakers that you saw somewhere. Is that why? Or is it actually because you know that you need it, right? If it's a new book bag, a new pair of pants for work, stuff like that, where you can actually say, okay, actually, no, I do need it, right? Be rational with yourself. The other thing that you can do is you can say, okay, you know what? I do need this, but do I need it at this high of a cost, right? So maybe you don't need to spend $100 on a bag, but you can spend $50 or $20 or $10, right? For something that'll give you the same function. So you want to make sure to develop the systems around money so that at the end, right, your emotions don't get the better of you and you don't just decide to buy something just because you felt the emotion that it should be it. Oftentimes we fall into the trap of, I deserve it. I need to buy this because I work really hard to do it. And yes, we work really hard, but you know what? Also, the road to success is very hard. It requires a lot of hard work. It requires more work than you actually think it does, right? So in order to achieve your goals, you have to make sure that you're working hard toward them, right? That just because you worked hard, and you've been working hard for 10 years, if you're still not at your goal, you're not working hard enough. That is just a simple fact, okay? You have to do everything it takes and be willing to throw everything at it so that you actually get there, okay? And the way to get there is not by giving into your emotions about money. It's actually quite the opposite. Coming in at number 4 is your mindset. I've been talking about it throughout this entire video, but your mindset, if you do not change your mindset, there is no way that you can ever change your circumstances. If you do not change the way that you see things and the way that you think about things, aka your mindset, you will never be able to achieve the goals that you set out for yourself. Those are just wishes at that point. It is not a goal, okay? That is just you wishing. If you're not putting in any work to whatever it is that you want, you're literally just wishing that it happens and expecting it to come to you by some magical formula or some magical way, right? That is not the way that we reach our goals. How do we start that? We start that by recognizing that, yes, we are worth it, right? You have to start thinking and asking yourself, why is it that you feel that you are not worth it? And if you're questioning whether or not you even feel like that, the proof is in the fact that you have not reached your goals and you're not working hard toward them. That's where the proof is. If you truly feel like you deserve something, just the same way as you might think that you deserve that bag or deserve that product, right? Or deserve that extra, chocolate, just the same way is the same way that you should be saying, actually, yeah, I do deserve to work toward my goals and I do deserve to achieve my goals, right? So if you felt the same way, then your goals would have already been met or you should be very close to meeting them. Okay, so you have to practice that every single day and say, I actually am worth it. And recognize the times that you don't feel worth it, right? Is it when you're around the specific person or several people? Is it when, you're caught in certain situations? When is it that you don't feel like you deserve that or you're doubting that you can actually achieve your goals? Okay, so first and foremost, you work on that. Something else that you can do to make sure that you're changing your mindset is ground yourself in your evidence, right? I always like to say, people can think that they're, amazing and they're the best. And while spiritually, I agree, right? You have to ground yourself in evidence. Why are you the best? Why do you deserve it? What's the proof that you have been working hard, right? When you have those pieces of evidence in your life, then you're able to actually say, you know what? That thought that I just had, that doesn't make sense. Why? Because I know I've been working hard. I know I've been doing the things that I need to do to reach that $10,000 goal that I have, right? I know that I actually deserve that because of X, Y, and Z, okay? You have to ground yourself in evidence and work against those negative thoughts. And that's the only way to do that. Now, how do you ground yourself in evidence? You give yourself the evidence, right? You can't just say, yeah, I am amazing and I believe I'm amazing because I'm amazing. No, right? I believe I'm a millionaire because I believe it. No, it doesn't work like that, right? Why is it that you know those things about yourself? What have you done in the process to actually get yourself there? Right? What have you been able to do or accomplish that can show you, not anybody else, show you what exactly, you have been doing and how are you successful in achieving that? And those are the pieces that you will take, and together, then you're able to say, actually, I am a moneymaker. Actually, I am good at networking. I have been good at, climbing the corporate ladder. I am great at, X, Y, and Z. Why? Because I did X. I spoke to, 10 people and I got this result. And I've been able to bring down my debt 30,000 in this amount of time. And like whatever it is that you achieve, make sure that you use that as evidence. And it doesn't have to be for anyone else, but most importantly, it does have to be for you. That is the one requirement. It has to be for you for when you have those conversations, because at the end of it all, you're the only person that you go to sleep with, right? At the end, you can sleep next to a partner, you can sleep with your children, right? But you're the only one inside your head recognizing the effort that you have put into something and how much time it's taking you to do something. And it's just so much more worth it when you're able to say, you know what? I actually achieved that, right? You want to give your kids a house and a backyard, right, that they want to play in. You know what? I was able to save that money for the down payment. I want to become a landlord. You know what? I was able to save money for that. And not only did I save money to get the property, but I became a landlord. I've been able to earn X, Y, and Z because of that, right? You have to wonder and think about why you and why not you. If you're thinking, you know what, maybe I can't achieve that, you have to remember, why can't it be you? It's been so many people before you and it will be so many people after you. Why not you specifically, right? You have to think about things like that. Again, you have to go back to the thought of, why am I thinking that I'm not able to achieve something when in reality I know that I am? And if you don't and you're doubting yourself, right? Again, you ground yourself in evidence and you prove to yourself that, yes, actually, I'm doing that. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past, right? It doesn't matter that you've gotten into so much debt or that you are in a cycle. You break it. You break that cycle. That's all it takes, okay? So next time you're thinking about how much you can't achieve something or what goal you want, right? Make sure that you're always thinking of it in a positive light, and know that you're able to achieve that because of the systems that you've developed to be able to actually get there. And those are the 4 things that have been keeping you poor. I know from personal experience, those can be really hard to conquer, but if you work at it every single day, those little tricks and tips, eventually they become habits. So thank you once again for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.